Hi everyone, it's Becca again. Today I am back with a slightly different video, and I really wanted to do this because I thought it was important, and I think you should say what you really mean here on YouTube. Sometimes people get caught up. It is their job and they do want to kind of represent themselves the best they can, which I totally respect, but I just want to come on here and just talk about come on here today and talk about some of the aspects about the YouTube culture that I don't really like. And with everything, there are positives and negatives, and I love YouTube. I love watching. I really love now creating videos. It's just the best. But there are some aspects that, aren't so cool, especially in the beauty community. It's so nice that people can come together, but sometimes people kind of can tear each other apart, sadly, too. So let me just get into it. I have my little book here. This is kind of where I keep all my YouTube ideas, like video ideas, things I'm working on, my monthly favorites, things like that. So I just kind of have a list just to remind myself. So let me get into it. And I hope you guys don't take this video the wrong way, but I just thought, like I said, that it was important to come on here and talk about it. And I just want to get your opinion, kind of start a conversation about it and see if we can't change it for the better. So without further ado, let me get into it. So the first thing that I kind of want to address is sponsored videos. Now, there are a lot of people here on YouTube is their job, which I completely understand and respect, and that's amazing that, they have built, and it's amazing that they've built a big enough subscriber base and kind of reputation on YouTube that they can have that as their sole career. That is amazing, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe one day I'll get there too. Who knows? But so because of that, some people use that as an excuse that's why they need to do sponsored videos. And I mean, in my humble, honest opinion, that's not true. Yes, sure, I mean, some people do sponsored videos and that does help them. Yes, the sponsored videos do help them for their career, but especially in the beauty community, I think it can be tough having a sponsored video. No matter how much you can tell your subscribers that this is your honest opinion, blah, 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 you wonder once it's a sponsored video. You don't know. And you hope that the people that you've subscribed to are going to be honest, but you never know. People can kind of get caught up in all of it. And a couple people have made videos about this. And I will link all their channels and their videos down below. First one was Kathleen Lights, and I love her. She's great. She had some good points, and she said, as long as it's not every video that is a sponsored video, she's fine with it. If it's once in a while, it's okay by her. The other one was Vintage or Tacky, her channel. I'll link her video down below. And I agreed with most of her points, and she's entitled to her opinion. Obviously, that's, what it's all about. But she said that for her, since it is her career, she said that she has to make a sponsored video. And I just didn't agree with that. Because she was saying that people who it's their hobby, they don't need the sponsored videos, and that's fine. But for her, with her career, and anyone who has a career on YouTube, needs those sponsored videos. And I just don't agree with that, because one of my all-time favorite YouTubers from day one until now is Emily Noel. 83 here on YouTube. I'll link her down below. And I know I talk about her all the time, but she gets products sent for review, and that's something different. I totally, I don't have a problem with that because she is, reviewing those products, and I trust her opinion. But she has never once done a sponsored video, and it is her full-time career. She had a great career as an anchor on the news, and that was great for her. But yes, I know she is married, so she has her husband's income too, but she switched for that career and made YouTube her full-time career, and she has never once made a sponsored video. And she does amazingly. She has, I believe, 3 channels now, and she's done great for herself, and she has not kind of compromised her integrity in that way. Not saying that all people who make sponsored videos compromise their integrity, but I'm just saying that she has managed to make it without making a sponsored video. And I give her kudos and props for that. That is kind of the YouTuber that I want to be. Who knows, that might change, but for now that is kind of the YouTuber I want to be. And I support her 100% for that. Still support, the other YouTubers that do make sponsored videos, But all I'm saying is I don't think it's necessary. And saying it's necessary, I think that's a little bit of an excuse and a cop-out. But, you know, you're entitled to your own opinion, and however you want to do your career is how you want to do it. And basically, the take-home message is that you, as viewers, you just need to be able to trust your YouTubers that you're watching. And, you know, you need to make that distinction for yourself, whether they make sponsored videos or not. That's, you know, up to you. So anyway, I hope I was clear on that point. You know, it is a tricky situation. People are going to get very riled up about it, and you're going to be either one way or the other. But I kind of want to just put my 2 cents in there. I hope I didn't offend anyone. But, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So you never know. Moving on, what I noticed, and this is kind of very sad, what I've noticed with a couple people, and I don't want to mention names just in this sense because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus and, you know, whatever. Other things could be a factor, but I notice sometimes when people get more subscribers, kind of their video qualities go down and they kind of change. And I think, I don't know what it is, but maybe the money kind of gets to them or the fame. I mean, who knows? It could be a combination of both. It could not even be either of those. It could be something else. But it's kind of sad. It's happened with me for quite a few YouTubers that I end up unsubscribing from. And that's the great thing about YouTube. You can subscribe and unsubscribe however many times you want to, which is great. But it's kind of sad because I loved watching their videos in the first place when they were smaller. And again, I'm going to bring up Emily Noel, 83, someone who has not changed in my eyes, has stuck true to herself. She's someone that stayed true to herself from the beginning to the end. You know, she got many more subscribers. It went from just kind of a hobby to a career. And for me, she stayed true to herself. You know, I've never questioned her honesty or anything like that, which is great. And unfortunately, there are some people that get into the millions of subscribers and they just, something about their videos I just am not drawn to anymore, which is just kind of sad, you know. I don't know what it is, but kind of something goes to their head, like the fame, like I said, or the money, and that's just too bad, and I wish that didn't happen as often as it does. Like I said, it doesn't happen to everyone, but it has happened to quite a few people that I watch, and I don't know, you know, again, this video, I just want to start a conversation, so please leave me your experiences down below. But yeah, right now I could think of, you know, a solid 4 or 5 people that I've unsubscribed to because their video qualities just went down. The great thing about YouTube is that it opens up other doors and opportunities for these YouTubers. Like Troye Sivan, he was able to start kind of a music career now, which is amazing. And that kind of all started with his subscriber base and his YouTubers that watched him. So I think that's great, and that's amazing. So I mean, he's just an example of how you can be successful through YouTube, which I think is amazing. But sometimes for other YouTubers, you know, I know they get more projects, and maybe that's why their video quality goes down, is because they're having kind of to split time, which I completely understand. But I don't know, I think it's something a little bit more for other people. But then there are other people like Makeup Geek TV, Marlena, she started a whole company from YouTube basically, which I think that is amazing. There are pluses and minuses to it. I think it's great that YouTube opens other doors for people, but I just hate when the people kind of change for the worse. Okay, now I'm going to talk more specifically about the beauty community, since that is kind of my main focus here on YouTube. Most of the videos I watch here on YouTube are beauty related, but let me just get into a couple things I don't like about the beauty community. And again, I don't want this video to be negative, but I just want to kind of bring to light some of the things that I've felt and that I hope can change. And like I said, I just wanted to be a discussion with you guys. So one thing that I don't really like is that for me, beauty is just kind of another accessory that I get to wear every day. And it's something I can change and I can take off at night, and it can be something totally different the next day, which I love. You know, some people say all the time, oh, you're lying about how you look. But you could say that about clothes. You could say that about anything. I feel like it's just an expression of myself, and it's one more way that I can express myself, which I really like. It's a way that I can be creative that, you know, I never thought of myself as a creative person, and I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that I am, you know, the best at eye looks and tutorials and stuff like that, but I just love that I can try to be kind of more creative in that way, because I was never the best at art or anything. But two of my best friends are artists in the sense of putting things down on paper, and I was always kind of envious of that. So this is kind of my way of being creative and expressing myself. But what I don't like about kind of the beauty world here on YouTube is it's not so much nowadays, but a couple of years ago, people were really afraid to show themselves bare-skinned. Now I know sadly there's a ton of negative comments people get, and they get torn down, which is so sad. I hate that. I wish there was more positive and negative, and sometimes there is, but it's just those few negative comments that really get you down, which really is too bad, and I'm sure I'll get some of these, especially on this video, but I think that's so sad. You should be able to walk out barefaced. You should be able to show that to the world. I mean, that is how you're born. You should love that about yourself. And for me, makeup isn't covering my flaws. I mean, sure, it's great when you can cover your dark circles and your blemishes. That's great, but you know, I'm happy with how I am without any makeup, and I go many days out and about without makeup on. But I just love the feeling of sitting down and pampering myself every morning for 30 minutes to an hour just to focus on me and, you know, make myself feel just that more beautiful. But I don't need it to feel beautiful. And I think that's a very important point that unfortunately some people don't feel. And I know everyone has their own insecurities, whether it be weight or how they look or that one thing about them. But the great thing about makeup is that you can kind of play up your features, you know. I don't think you should use it solely as your only thing that makes you feel beautiful, but if it does make you feel a little more beautiful and enhances those features you already have, I think that's great. But yeah, I know a couple years ago when people would do foundation routine videos, they'd be so scared to show their bare faces. And like I said, it could be a culmination. And like I said, it could be a couple different things, you know, kind of getting them to that point. But yeah, I just want everyone to feel comfortable in their own skin. And I know it's easier said than done. But don't be afraid of how you look. It's how you look, you know. I don't think you should feel bad or worried about that. Next thing is just kind of a silly little thing, lighten the mood. And everyone is entitled, again, to their own opinions and what they want and what they think makes themselves feel the most beautiful and whatnot, which is what you should do, what you like, you know. At the end of the day, you should do what you like, and you shouldn't listen to what other people have to say about how you should look. You should listen to yourself. But it's kind of funny that, you know, again, this was a couple years ago, maybe not so much now, but people would always do liner, lipstick, and lip gloss, and like you always had to do those three things. And now I don't think it's that much. And nowadays I don't think it's quite like that. But it's just funny because for me in my everyday life, nowadays I basically only wear lipstick. Rare occasion I'll wear lip gloss over top, but really not that much. And lip liner I basically only use if I'm doing a red lip when I really need that precision. But I don't know if it's just me, but I am so bad at lip liner. You know, you're right, you get that precision. You get that precision with lip liner, but I just feel like it never even helps me, and I'm still kind of going all over the place. So I don't know. But I just don't think you absolutely need a lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss with every look, especially with the great formulas nowadays, the liquid lipsticks, and you know, everything like that. You can find great products that don't need an addition to them. But yeah, just kind of think outside the box. You know, you don't have to be in these kind of beauty rules. For me, there are no beauty rules. Do what you think you like and what makes you feel the best. You know, and that's all you can ask for. Okay, this next thing is so funny. And I know kind of when you get in front of the camera, you kind of forget sometimes what you're thinking about and you don't realize what you say sometimes. But there's this big thing here on YouTube that people talk about an investment. People talk about kind of fashion or jewelry piece or an expensive makeup product. They talk about that as being an investment. And I had never taken a financial and I had never taken a class where we talked about investments. I'm a psychology major, so that was never kind of what we talked about. But I took a financial accounting class, and we really talked about the meaning of an investment, and that's where you get money back from something. And it's so funny to me when people talk about a beauty product being an investment. It's not an investment. You can say, yes, it's worth the money, it'll last me for a really long time, but it's not an investment unless you're going to sell it for more money than you paid for it. It's not an investment. Even with, you know, an expensive kind of Coach purse or whatever, YSL purse. I know people do sell those back, but normally I don't think they sell them back for more. I mean, they use them, and you know, it might be a limited edition product, but especially if you use a lot, you rarely sell it back for more. And on top of that, most people, when they buy kind of this investment product, I don't think they want, I might be wrong, but I don't think they want to sell it. I think they want it for themselves. Maybe later down the road they'll sell it. But I just think it's so funny when you talk about an investment. Like, I would never think, oh, I'm going to buy this blush because it's an investment. No, it might be an expensive blush and it might last me a long time, and I might need very little product, so, it could last me a really long time. But at the end of the day, you do have to kind of get rid of them. It is makeup. It does expire. I just think it's so funny when people talk about makeup being an investment. But it is a word here that gets thrown. It is a word on YouTube that gets thrown around a lot, especially in the beauty community, just like a bunch of other words that get overused. So it's not a big deal, but I just think it's funny. The last thing I wanted to talk about is something that kind of annoys me, like all of these do, but it's when people say, oh yeah, I'm wearing lashes today, whatever, I'm wearing this bright lipstick today, but I'd only ever wear this on camera. I don't wear this out in my real life. And I understand that on camera is different than, out in the real world, and you can just be wearing, shorts or pajamas and have a nice top on. That stuff doesn't really bother me. But saying, oh, I only wear this on camera, then why are you showing us? Like, yeah, I know with a nice kind of tutorial and a nice eye look, sometimes lashes can really glam it up. Great, sure, that's awesome. But anyway, I think that's about it for this video. It's a long video, I know. Sorry about that. Very chatty. I really hope, again, that you guys don't take this the wrong way. Like I said, I just want to start a discussion with you. Hopefully we can kind of change some of these negative things about the culture here on YouTube for the better. So I'm just putting myself out there. I'm really interested what you guys have to say on this topic. Maybe you guys can enlighten me on some of these things, kind of change my opinion. That would be great too. Like I said, just want to start a discussion. So anyway, until next time, bye guys.